Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen really quick, and I'm gonna play this video and listen to the words. Just listen. You don't even have to watch. Just close your eyes and listen. Can you see it?
No.
Oh shoot, hold on. Crap, hold on. Technical difficulties, sorry, I'm not a master at this stuff. Hold on.
Becky, you have to share the screen.
Oh, there we go. Do you see something? Facebook?
Yes.
Yes, it's a little boy.
Crap. Man, this thing keeps coming out. Why does it do that?
Close it off and pick the screen that you want.
There we go. Hold on. Here we go. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Raise the volume.
You can change your hair, your clothing,
Can you hear it?
your address, your spouse,
Yes.
your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly changed.
If you want something out of life, if you want to change yourself, if you want to acquire something, if there's some goal that you want to reach, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging. It's hard. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents.
The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, and this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about.
When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you.
If you look at somebody who's really successful and you think, wow, I mean, they're so amazing, they're such a genius, you got to dig underneath and you got to remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they've practiced for years in private.
If you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people, trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve. And other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream. How much time do you have left? How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know. Most of us don't use the stuff that we have brought into the universe. Stop wasting valuable time. If you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative. The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure. This is the winner's quality. The hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he or she knows exactly what he or she wants and is fully determined not to quit until they find it. There's greatness in you, and you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. So I'm going to harness my will, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. You are unstoppable. Live your life with passion, with some drive. Most of us go through life with our brakes on, holding back. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
You imagine if you start your day listening to that every single day? All right, so what some of the things that I take away, and I listen every single time, I watch this every day. I pick up different things, but one of the things that stood out to me yesterday, and I'm gonna tell you right now, and he says it, Les Brown says it at the end, most people live with their fucking foot on the brakes. Some of you have your foot on the brake. Why? Believe in yourself and go do it. You are holding yourself back. You need to release this negativity and believe. Start your day with that video. Before you talk to your kids, before you do anything, watch that video. I have it on my thing and I look at it every day. It gives me goosebumps every single time I listen to it. And you need to raise your standards. If the people, and I'm not telling you go get a new husband if you think that that's a problem, but if the people that you're surrounding yourself with are not up to the standard where you want to live, then you need to start hanging out with people who have better standards, because you're lowering your standards to them instead of hanging out with people who are more successful than you and are forcing you to raise your standards. It's time. I'm going to keep pumping this stuff at you. I find myself doing life coach things now with other people. And I can tell you that the reason why I am where I am now, it's because I've changed my perspective. And it all starts with you loving you. With you loving you and knowing that you are enough and that you need to love yourself and pump yourself up every single day to go and then bless other people. So I'm going to get off the soapbox with the life coach things. Yesterday I was cutting my hair and I was giving my stylist is like heavy. And I was like, it's about mindset. It's about this. And I was like, she was like all interested in what I was saying. I was like, I just did a session. So, hold on, this is really loud. So today I want to turn it over to Nancy. She's going to speak a little bit today on her mindset shift, because I believe that something happened at Summit that flipped the switch for her, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying, but she was kind of stuck for a few months and the business was not moving forward and she wasn't hitting Success Club. But she went to Summit with an open mind and something happened and she turned it up. And she's hit Success Club ever since the last 2 months. She's recruited a bunch of people. Her team is hitting Success Club. Something is changing, and I want her to tell you guys what is going on, what she's doing with her team to help her push forward. So Nancy, I mean, you were an integral part of the run for 15 Star Diamonds. So I thank you, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Becky. I want to start by telling you guys something that I thought was common knowledge, but I guess it's not. I dropped rank very early on in the year, and I basically was Emerald almost the entire year up until Summit. So when I went to Summit with that diamond lanyard around, literally, I brought my diamond lanyard from last year because I was like, que pena, I'm going to go to Summit with Emerald that I was diamond last year. So I didn't know if I was going to get a diamond lanyard. And the whole time I was like, I'm an embarrassment, because I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this diamond lanyard. I'm not. So Becky can tell you, not only was I stuck, but I really truly believed that I was going through the steps that I needed to do, and it just wasn't happening. And Becky was like, I don't know, Nancy, I don't know what's wrong. You're doing all the steps. But then when I went to Summit, like she said, I went with an open mind, and I went looking at it as, this is a training for my business, and I'm not going to look at it as any other thing. It's not a vacation. It's not party time. It's not get together with my fellow coaches and have fun. It's work, 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 work. And once I did that, I was able to receive all the training that was available to us. Before Summit, I went into Summit with 0 points. I had 12 for the whole year, and I had not hit Success Club since December. But every month I was like, Success Club 5, I'm going to shoot for it. I'm going to shoot for it. I hope I can get there, and maybe I'll do that. But that was my problem, was I had the mindset of, I hope, I wish, maybe, I'm going to try if it happens. And I had to stop that. And I tell my team that now too. When they say, oh no, hopefully this coach will sign up. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that. No, hopefully. No, I will try. You're going to do it. Because what you do when you say that is you're putting that mentality out into the world that it's possible that it's not going to happen. So I don't want to do that to myself anymore. So the first thing I did was I went through my contacts, and I made a list of and I told you guys this on a previous call, I made a list of every single contact on my Facebook page and in my email and in my back office. Because there's, hundreds of customers back there that I never talked to because they were former leads, or there were people that bought once and I never spoke to them again, or whatever. And I made a commitment to message 10 of them a day. And every single day I pick 10 people and I message them, and I start a conversation with them. I don't start with, hey, you want to buy a challenge pack? I will go on their Facebook and I'll see what's going on in their life lately. And I'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe Fulanito is starting kindergarten this week. Oh my God, how time flies. And we start in the conversation. Conversation eventually does lead to Beachbody and fitness and things like that. 99% of the time they mention it. They'll say something like, oh man, I see that you've been really kicking ass in your insanity classes, or blah, 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 blah. And I'll start gearing the conversation to that. If the conversation doesn't go in that direction, which does happen, I'm trying to find creative ways to bring it up. So for example, I have a potential customer who just moved to Colorado, and she loves going on like really long walks in the beautiful weather. So what I decided to do is I'm going to bring in the conversation of, what are you going to do when it starts snowing? Are you going to work out at home? And then I started the conversation that way. She's getting ready to buy a challenge pack right now. So it's getting creative with how you're going to bring up the conversation, but don't look at it like as a sale. I'm not looking at anyone as, this is going to be my next challenge pack and this is going to be my next coach sign up. I'm looking at it as, this is the next person that I'm going to help change their lives. And that mental shift, and that's why the video that Becky just showed us is perfect, because that's exactly what it is. It is a mental shift. Another thing that I was not doing before that I thought I was being consistent with my Facebook posts. I thought I was posting every day, but what I was posting was just kind of like bleh. And that was coming across in my posts, and people weren't engaging with them. But because my mentality has changed, my posts have been more consistent. The content of my posts is causing, I'm attracting people. Most of the people that I'm signing are people that are coming to me because they've seen that shift in me, and their attitude has shifted with it, because positivity and excitement is contagious. And so when they see that I'm genuinely positive and genuinely excited, they're gravitating towards me. I took the advice of, I can't remember who it was, to be honest with you. I think it's Katie Heifner, that blog about your ideal coach and branding. And I wrote down 10 qualities of my ideal coach. And they're all qualities that I have. So what I'm doing is every single post, I'm treating the audience as though it's that one individual person. I'm not posting for the masses.
Amen.
I'm posting for this, fictional person that I have created in my mind. And so I'm basically acting like I'm talking to myself. And sometimes I am. But that's a whole nother problem. But but what I'm doing is gearing all my posts towards that individual person. I started thinking in terms of, I was thinking in terms of like, you know, I'm just going to attract whoever I can. And I had to stop that. And I stopped looking at things like, well, you know, this is not going to happen because of this. And just getting negative on the negative self-talk all the time was detrimental to my business, to my personal life, to my family, to everything. So I don't even look at it that way anymore. There's no if at all in my mentality. And since I came back from Summit, I've hit Success Club both months. In July and August, I hit Success Club literally. Like I said, I went into Summit with 0 points. And within a week after Summit, I had my Success Club 10. And then another mistake that I was doing was the benefit from that success. Now that they changed the rules that you need to hit Success Club 10 to get your leads, my leads, I was doing nothing with them. And now what I took Jeanette's advice. She gave us a template that she uses for the contacts for her leads. And that's what I've been doing. I've been emailing them. The day that I see that I have a new customer, I email them. I've spoken to 3 of them now. One of them is potential coach sign up. The other 2 are getting ready to buy challenge packs. So, and I've had 9 leads this month from just hitting Success Club 10 last month. Another thing that I was screwing up big time was challenge groups. In the 3.5 years that I've been a coach, I've never had a single successful challenge group except for now. I've had 1, and now I've got a second one that's starting that's already looking like it's going to be successful. And what I was doing was I would post, oh, I have a challenge group starting, yada, yada, yada. And then when people wouldn't pay attention to it, I was like, this doesn't work. And I washed my hands of it. And that's another problem that I know a lot of us have. When something doesn't work, we automatically dismiss it. You got to give it time to work. You know, it's like doing, you know, crunches for an hour and then looking in the mirror and looking for abs. It doesn't work that way. It takes time. And, you know, your business is going to take time, and it takes commitment, and it takes focus, and you have to be laser focused. Besides the things that I did start doing, there's a lot of things that I stopped doing that I didn't realize at the time were the detrimental things towards my business. Like, one, you know, the attitude of if, maybe, hope, all of that. Another one, we tend to be really fearful of what people are going to think when we approach them. Are they going to think I'm trying to sell them? Are they're going to think, oh, this chick again, you know, whatever. And I started thinking, and Tara Carr said something about it at Summit. She was the crazy Beachbody lady. And when people would see her in her town, they would be like, oh God, here she comes again. But you know what? I would kill for Tara Carr's business. I don't care if people look at me and I'm the crazy insanity lady. That's okay. That's okay. And you know what? If I approach somebody, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to tell me no. So what? So is that what I'm afraid of? No. So I started asking myself, what, you know, and I've always considered myself a pretty fearless person. I don't have the same kind of fears like the vomit goals, and I didn't understand that. But then I realized there was something that I was fearful of, and it was, what are these people going to think when I try to approach them? Oh God, she's trying to sell me something. Well, if you go into it with that mentality, you're going to come across as you're trying to sell something. Mm-hmm. So what I started doing was like, you know what? I'm telling myself, I'm going to talk to so-and-so. And if the worst thing that can happen is they either tell me no, or they don't respond. Well, guess what? Both of those things are going to happen anyway if I don't message them. So I improve my chances by at least 50% by talking to them. So there's no reason not to. Oh, and then I was making decisions for people. Oh no, this one's going through a personal problem. I can't message her. Or this one, you know, she just lost her job. No, I can't do that, you know, things like that. But those are the people that need us. You're going through a personal problem. You know what? What better way to help get you through your personal problem than this team of positivity? What better way to improve your income because you lost your job than join the team? So I was giving people their own decisions without even talking to them. And I had to stop that. And the passion planner, I know a lot of you have talked about the passion planner, and we started this new group. I ordered that months ago, and I never did anything with it. But I'm a firm believer that the lady that made this, I swear to God, it's like she was making it for Beachbody coaches. Because you open the passion planner, and the very first section is talking about your goals in different time frames, 3 months, 1 year, 5 years. And you write what you want. And then the next page is actionable steps on how you're going to get there. And then every single day, there are sections where you write, this is today's focus. This is the priority. This is, I'm going to do this second. This is going to be the third thing that I do. It's so broken down for you. It is stupid proof. And if you think that you're organized and you don't need this, get it anyway. Because I thought I was organized. And if you saw my little desk area right now, you'd be like, Nancy, I don't know why you thought you were organized. It's like a bomb hit my desk. But I was organized in a lot of different areas, but this actually broke it down for me to the point that I don't have to think about it. I write down what I need to do, and then I just refer back to it. Another step that I started doing, which I didn't realize that this was even an option on my phone. I have an Android. I have a Galaxy Edge. There's a feature on the text message app that comes with the phone that you can schedule text messages.
No way.
Yeah. I'm going to show.
No shit.
And I researched it. There's not a feature on the iPhone, but there are apps in the iPhone stores that you can download for free. You can schedule it.
We got other. Oh yeah, scheduled messages. Cool.
Yeah,
iPhone
so
has other things that are awesome too.
Look, whatever, iPhone, blah, 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 whatever.
I know, we have this debate all the time. Droid is good too, y'all iPhone people. I'm just I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's an iPhone lover forever.
No, I was an Android and I used to talk smack about the iPhone people, and now I'm one of those iPhone people. Okay, bye. Sorry.
So one of the things that because I would set alarms for myself on my phone, where I would be like, okay, this alarm is, will go off at 10 o'clock, and it's the message on the alarm is like message so-and-so. But I would get into the habit, because it's an alarm, and then, the psychological component of an alarm is like, oh, snooze. So I was getting into that habit of like, snooze, there you go. He's got the messenger. I was like, snooze, and then I would never get to it. And I'm like, shit, I never messaged so-and-so. And then weeks would go by, and I'm like, I haven't spoken to this person in a month. So when I discovered that feature, I was like, you know what? And then when people tell me, I'm going to be out of town until Wednesday, and I'll say, okay, can I message you on Thursday? Yeah, sure. I will message them and schedule it for Thursday, so I don't even have to think about it. And then on Thursday, the message goes through, and they'll respond, and I'll see it, that the message went through. I'm like, oh, that's right. I messaged so-and-so.
Am I the only one that forgets to press send? I'll do this lovely message and never press send.
I do that.
It's like a month conversation. I have to apologize. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I did message you a month ago.
I do the same thing. But that's why this scheduler is so good, because you do it, you hit send, you do the message, you hit send, and you don't have to, you're not sending it right then and there. So it's there as a scheduled message, and it'll stay there until it goes through.
I'll find something for the iPhone people.
What's it called for the Android? What's it called?
It's not an app. It comes with the phone. If you go to the messenger
in the settings, right here.
Go to the messenger on your phone, and then you go to.
Look at all the Droid people all happy.
I'm gonna give it to my team. I don't have an Android.
The app is Text Time. I already downloaded.
That's for iPhone.
I'm gonna schedule a message for you right now. So
there's a bunch of different ones.
Jeanette, when you go into your text messages,
I don't have an Android.
I know.
I was gonna share it.
It's part of the features of the messages. You just
so if you go into Messenger, you go into whatever contact that you're gonna message, in the upper right hand corner, there's a little thing that says more. You click more, and then it says schedule message. You click schedule message, you type it out, you put the date and time that you want to send it.
Okay.
Click done, and then you type out the message and you hit send.
Evelise,
thank you.
You have a iPhone?
Yep, I just downloaded the app. It's because I don't have that. I don't see that on my message on my text. So I just downloaded Text Timer.
Okay.
Text Timer.
Mm-hmm.
God, you're geniuses.
Yeah, that's why I looked it up to see if iPhone had an option too, because I know there's a lot of iPhone users out there, and it doesn't have an option that comes with the iPhone. And one of the things
Evelise is right. Text Timer. You go.
Yeah, there's like 20 different ones, but whatever one works for you, and that helped me significantly, because that was one of my problems, was getting to the messaging part of follow-ups. Follow-up. These are platitudes we hear all the time, right? And we dismiss them. The key, the magic is in the follow-up. The speed of the leader, the speed of the pack. You hear these platitudes, and you kind of dismiss them because you hear them so many times, but they're freaking true. Like, there's a reason why you hear them so many times. And I guarantee you, nobody that's unsuccessful in the business is saying them. The people that are saying them are successful people. Why the hell are we ignoring it? Just because we've heard it 1,000 times? And that was a mistake I was making too. I was listening to calls and, you know, and I kind of dismissed a lot of the stuff that I was hearing because I was like, oh, this was on last week's call, or yeah, I heard this 2 weeks ago at Super Saturday or whatever. Okay, and so you heard it 20 times. Most of us are parents, right? If not all of us. How many times do you have to tell your kids something before it gets through?
Yeah.
It's the same mentality. You hear something repeatedly, you kind of dismiss it, but there's a reason why it's being repeated. So don't dismiss it. Change your mentality, change your attitude towards what you're hearing so that you can receive it. And then the biggest thing that I can tell you, apply what you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
You have all this information. We have all this training and resources. And if you're just looking at them, like in the Bring the Bling, I see the activity has gone down significantly.
Yeah.
And I think it's part of it is people are reading it and they're like, okay, I read it. My job is done. But you got to take what you're learning and then like, how am I going to apply this to my business? Okay, so-and-so said I need to go to Instagram and do 20 hashtags. Okay, I'm going to do that. Whatever it is, you need to actually physically do it.
Yeah, implement.
So, yeah, if you're not doing it, going through the motions of reading the personal development and going to the trainings and listening to all the calls and whatever, you really are just going through the motions. Your business, and Chris Reed said this at Summit, your business is exactly where you deserve it to be based on your actions. So if your business is not where it needs to be, it's because you are not doing what you need to do to get it there. And that was my big problem. I literally, and I never told Becky this, and she's probably going to punch me in the face. I was to a point where Frank and I had talked, and we had decided that if I am not where I need to be by the end of this year, I was probably going to quit the business. And it was only because I was my own worst enemy. I stopped blaming everybody else. I stopped posting in my team page altogether in March. I stopped because I was so pissed off at them for not engaging that I took it out on myself, which was stupid. But I was like, man, these people, they're lazy and they want it, but they don't want to do the work. Forget it. And I stopped posting. And like, I shot myself in the foot because back to what Becky always told me, speed of the leader, speed of the pack. Well, if I'm not doing it, what's going to make them start doing it? So I stopped blaming my challengers for not sticking with the program. I stopped blaming the people that told me they want to buy it, but they didn't follow through. I stopped blaming the people that stopped responding to me. I stopped getting frustrated at that. You know what? They're lost. And they will come back because they always do. I have one lady come back to me 3 different times, buy Shakeology and return it, and now she's back again. Don't ask me why, but whatever. But she keeps coming back. And I'm like, okay, good luck. You know, oh, you're going to try Herbalife? Okay, good luck. Oh, you're going to do the HCG shot? Oh, okay, good luck. But they always come back, and that's why you got to leave that door open, but don't freak out when they leave or when they don't respond or when your coaches are not recruiting or whatever, because you know what? I made a mistake of focusing on the people that I had and trying to get them to do what needed to be done instead of saying, you know what? You can't force somebody to do something they're not ready to do or that they don't want to do. So what you need to do, I hear a lot of feedback. It sounds like somebody has a transformer in their living room.
No, well, they're vacuuming.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is that noise? I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Becky's fault.
Yeah, it's Becky's fault. I stopped blaming everybody else, and I stopped trying to force the people that were already on my team to do what they needed to do instead of focusing on recruiting new people. Because we all know we've all had this problem. We get people, they sign up, they're all gung-ho, and they're like, woohoo, and then they disappear. Happens to everybody. So instead of trying to track them down and become Sherlock Holmes to investigate what the problem is, you can be there for them and you can help them and you can let them know that when they're ready, you're still here. But if you're focusing all of your energy on trying to get people that are not doing what they need to do it, you have no energy left for yourself, for your own business, and to recruit more people. So that's my contribution. That's what I have to, and stop the minimum thinking. The minimum thinking too is another thing. I was like, Success Club 5. No.
Yeah.
Shoot for Success Club 15. Because
that's a big thing.
Yeah. The minimum thinking. And this is another thing I want to say. Most people in their 9-to-5 job, most people do not have a great work ethic that they do above and beyond. Most people do just enough to not get fired. Mm-hmm. Right? So are you taking that approach with your business? I'm doing just enough to hold rank. I'm doing just enough to get a couple of bucks every month, you know, whatever. But just enough, amen. Just enough is not enough. You need to do more. And, you know, the law of attraction and the attitude of abundance and all of that, that shit works, people. Do it. The end.
That was fabulous, Nancy. Thank you. It was, and it all true, and it all stems back to mindset. And I know my sister did a post about that the other day, and Barbie spoke about it on our call 2 weeks ago, about am I doing just enough to get by? If you are, and really ask yourself that question, take a deep breath, go outside and close your eyes and ask yourself the goddamn truth. Am I doing enough? You're not going to make $15,000 a month or a week doing the bare minimum. You're not. So the moment you release that, and you release the expectation that this business is just going to fall in your lap, then you'll realize that you need to get to work. But it takes time. It takes consistency. It takes releasing the negativity. It takes releasing arrogance. It takes all of that. You need to humble yourself, get back to work, do the basics, hone in on your skills, and improve yourself, and love yourself a little bit more each and every day, and tell yourself that this is, what was that line I said before? Forgot. The one, hold on.
Good things are supposed to happen to me.
Good things are supposed to happen to me. Stop with the negative words. I'll try. That's a buffer word. My life coach told me that. You don't try. Try to pick up a pencil. You can't. You freaking have to do it. You can't try to do it. You just do it.
I tell everybody, I'm like, do or do not. There is no try. And they're like, okay, Yoda, shut up. But it's true.
It's true.
But this is the thing. Even with because I've been talking to Nancy weekly, and I've been trying to watch my words, even like with the kids, and I thought I was doing a really good job and not using the negative words and being positive and being, you know, saying actionable, like, oh, I am this and whatever. And I met yesterday, Jeff Pearson, which works with the 2-Star Diamonds. He sends an email out to local Jersey 1-stars or Star Diamonds. And so I met up with him yesterday. I went to the Hilton to talk about goals and strategies and all this. And he's like, all right, so tell me about yourself. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just a 1-star, da 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 da. And he stopped me. He's like, what do you mean you're just a 1-star? Like, he's like, do you know the percentage of how many people get to 1-star? And I'm like, well, it's easy to get to. Like, I'm thinking only the bigger ones, that's, you know, harder. You know, anybody can get to 1-star. And he's like, no. And he's like, the statistics, like the percentage of where you're at is good. Like, don't. So I realized that I was letting the rank define my worth. Like, because I wasn't this, then I was just measly just down here type of thing. And I went into the summit, like, not mentally there because I wasn't where I wanted to be. So I'm like, whatever. They gave me, you know, my lanyard, and I'm like, oh, success legend, okay. Like, it didn't like process to me because I was so disconnected, because I realized without knowing that I was adding value to who I am based on my rank. And it's funny because I've never been, so I thought, one, to be about rank. I was like, you know, as long as I'm making the money that I need to for my family, like, the stars don't mean nothing to me as long as I'm doing what I need to and I can pay my bills for my kids. But I guess subconsciously I did care about the stars because I just called myself, I'm just a 1-star.
Yeah. Those are all those limiting beliefs that are going to hold you back.
And, you know, somebody posted, I want to say in the Diamond group a few months ago, an article that was like the one word that you need to remove from your daily vernacular when you're talking to people that messes with your head. And the word was just. And it was like, I just wanted to follow up with you about such and such, or I just wanted to reach out to you. And I thought it was silly. I was like, that's silly. But I stopped doing that, and the shift was huge. Like, I never say that word anymore. I find myself writing that out. I just wanted, hold on.
I do that.
I wanted to. It's huge. It's like little silly things like that you really dismiss as like, okay, whatever, yeah, okay. But it means something. It really does, because it speaks to what happens in your mind and it does shift your mindset to something negative without you even realizing it, like what you did, you didn't even realize that you were having that negative self-talk, but you were, obviously, you know. And sometimes it takes somebody to point it out to you, you know, and you find, and it's a habit, right? So we got to get out of that habit. You can't, it takes time. It's not something that like from one day to the next, I no longer feel any negativity. It doesn't work that way. But if you start approaching things from a positive standpoint, every single thing. And I had this conversation with my son, and this actually, like, I learned from this conversation with my son. My ex-mother-in-law is kind of on her deathbed, right? She's got stage 4 colon cancer. She's not doing well at all. My son, I'm only sad for my son, so, because there's no love lost between me and her, but my son is experiencing this loss. So he's devastated because he's like, oh my God, abuela's gonna die. You know, and I told him, I said, you know, I know it's really hard to look at this situation and try to see the positive because it's a huge, tragic situation. But there's a lot of positive in this situation. There are people out there that lose their loved ones in the blink of an eye. You have the opportunity to cherish every moment because you know she's going to go soon. So you have the opportunity to make the most of every moment. How many times do people die and they turn around, the people that are left back come back to the mentality of, God, if I would have known that the last time I saw her was the last time I was going to see her, I would have told her this, or I would have paid more, I would have taken more pictures, whatever. So it's that same mentality. Find the positive in every negative situation, and before you know it, the negative situations don't really impact you that much anymore. And I've had negative situations going on like crazy. I always have. My life has been nothing but negativity. I've had tragedy. I've had downfalls. We lived in our car for a little while when I was young. We were poor. You know, I don't talk to what Becky said earlier about getting rid of people in your life that are negative and all that kind of stuff. I don't talk to anyone in my family, my mother, my sister, nobody, because they are such toxic people, and I don't want that. And it's okay. It's okay. I don't feel guilty about it because I'm trying to build a life for me and my children and now my grandchild that is one of positivity and abundance, and I'm not going to let negativity infect my brain and infect my team.
All right, so I'm going to close really quick with some words that I actually got from my life coach. And when you guys start, you know, it's the end of the month. Some of you have not hit Success Club yet. Let's be real. And you're going to start saying, well, I'll try. I won't fail, or I'm not going to give up. Things that are very like fluffy and don't really mean anything. Here are the words that you're going to start using. I will always follow through. I always persevere. I always get my outcome.
Slow down.
Oh. I always follow through. I always persevere. I always get my outcome. Just think about how different it sounds if you say, yeah, I'll do it. I'll hit Success Club, maybe. Go, Yvonne.
One of the things that I did this month is I started writing my end of day letter. So that's something that I've been meaning to do end of month. But I said, you know what, forget end of month. I really need to push to get myself to Success Club so that I can work on Emilio. So the 31st of last month, I grabbed the notebook right before I went to bed. I had already written out my to-do list for the next day. And on the notebook, I wrote tomorrow's date, and I wrote, today I was able to do this. I talked to these people, so many people. Like, I wrote everything that happened in the day, even though the day had not even started yet. And just like I wrote it, it happened.
You claimed it.
So, exactly. That's another way, like, of visualizing the vision, where sometimes we may not have the vision for like 10 years, 5 years, 2 months, but we know what we need to do tomorrow, and we know how we want to feel tomorrow at the end of the day. So if we write everything that we need to do so that we can achieve that feeling at the end of the day, it will happen because we already know all the things that happened. And again, the law of attraction, we're going to create it. So that has really, really worked for me this month.
That's awesome. And I want to give you a big shout out before we go. You've really turned it up this month too. Are you starting 2-star qualification or what?
She's one. She has a coach away from Emerald that's really pushing. The coach built her network hugely on Herbalife, so she has to shift that mindset of all the people she's already reached out to from Herbalife is great to now I found something better.
Okay.
So she's really working hard and working on it.
Let me know if I can help. Just
thank you. We keep telling her let us know what we could do. But she'll get there.
Well, you've got a ton of points. I think you have more than me. How many? Do you have 16?
I have 16. Emilio has 6, and I should be having him at 10 before the end of the month. That was my commitment to my team, right, Nancy?
Yep, and you're doing it.
And again, I don't want to throw you out there, but there were a few months that you weren't hitting Success Club, and now, you've done it, and you're continuing to do it, and you've turned it up. So congratulations to you as well. I wanted to give you that high five, virtual high five. All right, guys. Well,
I kept telling myself that I only got to SC4 and then I got stuck, and I kept repeating that. So that's exactly what was happening, because I kept repeating, oh, I only get to SC4 and then I get stuck. Well, yeah, I was only getting to SC4 and then stuck. So
you changed the mindset. All right, guys, big smiles for the camera. And next week we're gonna have a guest speaker, Danielle McKean. Ready? Smile. Okay. That's it. That's a wrap. If you guys have any topics you want me to share, let me know. But anything that I get from my life coach that I think is meaningful, I'm going to continue sharing with you guys.
You should actually open a new group, and instead of doing the Queen Hives, just do the Becky's Life Coaching. And put
I should. I should. You know what? I like that. I'm going to do that. You guys all want to be part of that?
Yep. We need it. I want it.
Okay. I'll do it today. Done. All right, guys. I love you all. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.